Hi everyone, it's been a while since I last recorded a video, so I thought I'd give you guys an update on the development that's ongoing. First one first, Albert. I know that quite a few of you are waiting for version 3 to be released, and that will probably happen later this year, depending on my work related commitments. But before I get into that, I thought that there is something that I needed to tackle, and that's the fact that Apple is dropping support for the Intel chip, which means they're dropping support for Rosetta 2 in reality, and they'll probably not distribute that with later versions of Mac OS. So I thought that I really needed to get to the point where I was able to compile my GTK applications for the Apple Silicon, ARM-based Apple Silicon. As I was at it, I thought, yeah, okay, that's then probably time to migrate to version 3 of GTK. Not yet version 4. Pretty much a lot of the development for Albert was really mindful of the fact that this migration was going to be likely. So migrating Albert was quite quick, and as you can see, this is version 2.5.0 Alpha 3, and in here in the about dialog, as we can see, it says that the GTK plus runtime in use is 3.24.49. So the version has been tested quite a bit by myself already. One of the things we need to do with Joachim is to make the customizations to the theme, to the Vertex Dark theme. At the moment, pretty much nothing is customized in the theme, so I'm using the vanilla Vertex Dark theme. We did quite some customization for the theme for GTK2. Unfortunately, none of that work is directly portable to GTK3, so we will have to pretty much redo that work. One of the things I'd like to draw your attention to is something that's coming because of the use of GTK3. I know that quite a few people don't like the GTK file chooser dialog, but I tend not to hate it, but I understand where people are coming from. So you're seeing here the built-in GTK file chooser dialog, but when people will now be able to do, let me just undo that last load. What they will be able to do is, in the preferences, they will be able to choose to use the OS native file chooser dialogs, which means that now if I do import image, I get the file chooser dialog from Windows in this case, and this will be true for macOS as well. However, now as you can see, if I click on a file, I don't immediately get a preview anymore. In reality, for this setup I have here, I do get it because I created the C64 thumbnail provider, which is a COM DLL that can be registered and works in conjunction with File Explorer in Windows, and does generate thumbnails for Commodore 64 graphics. I mean, these are all these different files all have the same content, but as you can see, regardless of the file, I do get a preview. So again, this was one of the reasons for which I created the thumbnail provider. And as I said, once the customizations for the theme are done, what I have to work on for Albert at least is the macOS build, then the Linux build app image, and then there will be the Docker image as well. While I'm doing that, I also decided to do some more work on the core engine for Albert, effectively transforming it from a pixel art editor to still a pixel art editor, or pixel art oriented editor, but with also paint program features. And in order to do that, I created a playground application, which is the one you are looking at the moment. And this does add drawing features that are not found in Albert at the moment. Probably something for version 4, I don't know, but this one too is based on version 3 of the GTK framework. And we can just have a quick look. So I'm using my mouse at the moment, so as you can see, nothing too exotic. There is scribbling. I can also increase the size of the brush and keep on scribbling. What I can also do is to draw shapes or connecting lines for in this case. Yeah, so it's pretty much freehand connecting lines. We can delete all of this as well. Just start fresh and have a look at the shapes. So the first kind of shape is just a straight line. I just drag the starting point, finishing point, and here as well I do have the connected line facility. Moving that one out of the way as well. The next one is rectangles. Then we have ellipses, and one of the things I'd like to mention is that if I hold shift, I can get this application to draw a perfect square, and if I'm in ellipse mode, it's going to be a perfect circle. I can draw these shapes both filled or just stroked. And I also have stars. There would be the ability to draw textures as well. In this case, just a chessboard, but there will be user selectable textures as well. There is a rounded rectangle. I think it looks better. Let me just undo that one a second. It looks better when it's not filled. And there will be a circled rectangle as well. All of these will be adjustable eventually. For the time being, it's still early development. We will have again a fill tool. Over here you can see the effects of anti-alias, but if for straight lines, we seem to be okay with fills, so let's stick to that. We might want to start over again a little bit and show other functionalities. Let me just disable anti-alias for what I'm going to do next. So as before, there will be panning and rotation tools, also with snapping. And while I'm in rotated mode, the way the shapes work is that they will draw shapes still axis aligned to the screen, unless I want them to be axis aligned to the image, in which case I can just hold Control down or Command on macOS, and that's what I get by doing that. Another feature that I'm working at is actually dithering, and if we select a dithering mode and then with fill, we can fill using a solid fill, then this dithering mode, then we have a third one, then we have a fourth one, and then we have a fifth one. If we zoom in, it's probably obvious what's happening here. So this is in every kind of steel chessboard pattern. This is a dotted pattern. This is horizontal lines, and this is vertical lines. It's probably easier to have a look at this if I just restore the transformations and then we zoom in. Again, the brush under the cursor will show exactly what's happening when we draw things. Now this applies to all drawing operations. So if say I were going to draw a rectangle or an ellipse, it would still hold that I'd be using the dithering for my brush, freehand as well. And another thing I'd like to comment on is that now this application also supports drawing tablets, and specifically it does support pressure as well. So if I start drawing and then I increase the pressure, as you can see, the brush size becomes larger, and then I can make it smaller by decreasing the pressure and large again. I'm also starting to bring in complex selections, but it's not available in this build yet. Another thing that is available in this build is deformations for PAL and deformations for NTSC. One of the things I'm also working at is when shapes are drawn in NTSC, the user will be able to make adjustments, automatic adjustments, will be able to appreciate automatic adjustments to the thickness of lines based on the video standard in use. So as an example, again, for NTSC, the horizontal lines will be measured in pixels, will be not as wide as the vertical ones. They will be thinner, but because of the deformations of NTSC, they will look just as thick as the vertical ones. I reckon that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.